Welcome to this third video on my simple lean-to shed series where I'm going to finish up with framing the roof. I'm going to start by transferring the cut lines from the top plates to the 2x4s that I'm using for my rafters. Then I can cut them out with my circular saw and jigsaw and clean everything up with a chisel. So I've cut a couple of the rafters. I just wanted to test fit them and also make sure that I was going to be able to get the roof off once it's done. I have to disassemble the shed to reassemble it in my backyard. And what I noticed was for the first, these are the two ones I originally cut, that's going to create a problem trying to get the roof off. So I added a spacer, basically just lifting this up by 1/4 of an inch. And this is this will be a lot easier to deal with when I'm trying to take the roof off. So this one here will be my template for the rest of them. Don't forget to test fit both sides of the shed. With the template done, I can use it to cut all the rafters. I'll start by cutting them to the proper length using my miter saw. This is way quicker for me than using my circular saw. And once they're cut to length, I can start on the bird's mouth cuts. So I've created this jig to help me cut the rafters because I really suck with my jigsaw and I wasn't able to get a straight cut. The blade kept deflecting and I was taking a lot of time messing with that. So this is just something I'm going to use with my router to speed up the process a little bit. It's basically foolproof. Because the angles are the same on the front and the back of the rafters, I can use the router jig for both cuts. To cut the front, I align the jig with the front of the rafter, clamp it in place, and make the cut in 3 passes. I'm using my palm router and a 1/4 inch spiral upcut bit. For the back cuts, I'm using a scrap 1x2 clamped to the jig's rail for a positive stop. This makes alignment easy and ensures consistent cuts. For the 2 end rafters, I have to trim the bird's mouth so they'll sit squarely on the side walls. When I have to cut a lot of things at the same angle, I find it useful to keep track of it on a piece of scrap. So this is just a piece of a picket. And obviously, the wider the better, but this becomes the reference going forward. So if your miter saw, if you have to change the angle on your miter saw, or if what you're using for your reference gets modified, then you can always reestablish it using the scrap. The key thing is you don't want to lose the scrap. I'm using 4-inch exterior grade screws for attaching the top plate to the roof's back plate. This will allow me to attach the rafters and the front plate without worrying about things shifting around. I will have to take these out when I move the shed to the back of my house, but at that point the roof will be together and everything aligned, and I can just screw it back down in place after reassembling the shed frame. To attach the rafters to the front and back plates, I've switched back to the 3-inch screws that I've used for most of this project. I'm using the back plate to transfer the rafter and screw locations to the front plate. This will ensure the rafters are correctly aligned when I attach the front plate. To screw the OSB to the roof, I'm using a combination of 1.5 inch and 2 inch exterior grade wood screws. I'm placing them 6 inches apart on the perimeter and every 12 inches on the rafters. To gap the two pieces of OSB, I'm just using some popsicle sticks. So that'll wrap up this video. Please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. And stay tuned for the next video where I add sheeting and trim to the simple shed. Thanks for watching.